You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. Well, we got an update on Deshaun Watson. Now, yesterday, that whole tampering thing came out with the Miami Dolphins, and Stephen Ross got a suspension. A lot of people did an immediate WTF. Is Stephen Ross actually suspended longer than Deshaun Watson? And my first thought at that time was Roger Goodell's fixing to appeal this Deshaun Watson decision. Now, when you look through all the breakdown of Sue L. Robinson's feedback from her decision, she basically finds him guilty on 3 different things, and a lack of remorse and a lot of other things that when you start breaking it down, sort of tease it up for Roger Goodell to come back and hammer this dude, if he so chooses, from an appeal, which is odd. Kind of makes you wonder, was there a little, hey, agreement here, agreement there? And people bring up, well, the fact that Deshaun Watson and the PA are going to sue if that happens. They don't care. Roger Goodell and the NFL don't care if they sue. Now, what's going to suck is if they do sue and there's a restraining order filed against that lawsuit, Deshaun Watson will be on the field game 1, setting up Baker Mayfield versus Deshaun Watson. So maybe Baker goes out there, hangs a big fat L on Deshaun, and then Deshaun's out for the rest of the year. Everybody wins, right? So let's check this out, because this is starting to creep out. Mike Florio broke a story a few minutes ago that he thinks something, something may percolate. If it does, by around 3 p.m. Central, but they've got a little longer than that, actually. They got to, I believe, end of business day today. But that would be sort of the litmus test of what's going to happen. This is Outkick. Roger Goodell is expected to appeal Deshaun Watson's suspension. Now, Florio and Chris Sims both, they think Roger Goodell is appealing this. Florio thinks he's about to get a year. He said that on Pro Football Talk yesterday morning. Chris Sims thought it would be something like 10 to 12 games. But there's another little tidbit in this story that just broke about a fine. And this could stem from that contract he just got. Roger Goodell will likely appeal Deshaun Watson's 6-game suspension. Judge Sue L. Robinson slapped the Browns quarterback with a 6-game suspension following allegations of misconduct. As soon as the decision from Robinson dropped, there was an immediate outrage that the suspension was way too soft. Now it sounds like Goodell will try to fight. The NFL is expected to, quote, exercise its right to appeal within 3 days, and the NFL Commissioner, Roger Goodell, will significantly increase the punishment levied against the Browns' dual-threat quarterback, according to ProFootballNetwork.com. That's a site that Trey Wingo's involved with. Pro Football Network floated the possibility that Goodell could add many more games to Watson's suspension and slap him with fines that reach into the millions. If the NFL decides to appeal the decision, the situation will inevitably be headed to court. If that happens, prepare for some serious fireworks. As stated, the fans were not pleased with Watson only getting 6 games after facing allegations of sexual misconduct. Now the NFL has a chance to try to change the narrative, and that decision ultimately sets with Goodell. Make sure to check back for updates. Okay, so we will go right here. This is where he says NFL will moves closer to deadline for filing Deshaun Watson appeal. That's Florio, and he thinks it is coming. He thinks it is coming anywhere between now, but the real sweet spot for an appeal is 4 p.m. Eastern time today. So let's take a look at this. We're going to go to Pro Football Network right here. The sporting news. League sources and legal experts predict the NFL will appeal the ruling on Deshaun Watson's suspension at Aaron Wilson NFL. Now, this is a guy, by the way, who worked for the Houston Chronicle and the Baltimore Sun, but the Houston Chronicle It'd be the part of that interests me the most. He probably covered the Texans. They predict Roger Goodell will significantly increase the punishment by adding 4 to 6 games to the suspension. So we're looking at 10 to 12 games and possibly a multi-million-dollar fine, which I find that part to honestly be the most interesting, is the fact that the Browns tried to do some shadiness here, signed him to a $1 million contract for just this year in anticipation of a potential all-year suspension, okay? So, he will only lose a little bit of base salary. They're wanting to reach into his pockets beyond his salary this year. That's what the NFL is probably looking to do here, because that contract made a lot of owners furious. We've talked about that before. So now this gets interesting. Florio thinks it's a full season if it goes to appeal. Andrew Brandt of the New York Post came out, very, very well-connected business guy in the NFL, believes that if the NFL goes to the trouble to file an appeal, they're going to be hammering his ass with a lengthy suspension. This guy, Aaron Wilson, believes it's 4 to 6 more games, making it 10 to 12, but with multi-million-dollar fines attached to it. Deshaun Watson's about to get his butt hammered. I think Roger Goodell wanted a little bit of the gauge of how it was received, but I believe the moment this dropped, I truly believe they knew they were appealing then. We'll find out. We'll know. If it's not appealed today, it most likely will not be. And then the NFL looks like dog shit if that happens. They look like dog shit now. But after that Stephen Ross thing, and people are drawing the comparisons there, going to look real bad. Real bad. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.